Okay, let me stick in a bunch of that's kind of too far. Of course, there should be guide rail. Not to say guide rail, frame so that it doesn't fall off to the side. That is all understood. Towards the end, there should be a small groove that only one piece can go, depending on the part that you're making. All this only takes people like Zach and anybody who understands the concept and work with me, and it can be done. It's not so far-fetched, and yet relatively is the most cost-efficient way of doing things. I hope that is a reasonable demo of what can be done. That's not the only motors. I have several other motors coming and a few other things, and so it's not so I have multiple options with me. Now the stepper motor pin straightening concept, that's coming along. I'm just going to work on the card, which is essentially a stepper motor card, which is a programmable card for speed and direction and so forth. So just need to configure this for a single motor, because this was used for multiple motors and a much slower speed, and the speed can be programmed and through an RS3 to okay, let's see where we go with that. That's all I have. I reduce the motor speed, effectively reduce the vibration, and the concept here is that this will be the hopper tray concept of hopper tray. Eventually, as it drops off, it will drop off into a fork. The moment it passes into the fork, the moment it detects one part, a block will come in. A solenoid will drive a block, and then the motor rotates, straightens the pin, the block relieves, retracts, and let go the next one, and that has to be learned and set. Can you increase the vibration? And of course, it should be merged in such a way with some tracking, so that you can only let go one. And when we are talking about the TO18, it could go head first or pin first. It doesn't matter. The moment it goes there, it should be able to swing. The moment it goes in, it should be able to swing. That will be the idea. Whether it goes pin first, it'll just drop in. That fundamentally is a vibration hopper, and it is relatively a cheap way, because this is not this is the old-fashioned way of creating long before electromagnetic and piezoelectric came about. Vibrations were generally done with springs and non-centric motors, so the concept is still about the same. Today you have better motors though, tiny, small motors that can run several thousand RPM, and the air doesn't always have to be the best. It's all a function of the weight of the device, the tray, the total weight, the springs, a combination of all that. So we'll have to go with something that we think is the right thing. There's no way it can be that wrong. So it's a concept of just diving in straight, take all the courage and get going, you know. There's nothing else you can do. So that's a demo vibration tray hooked up to a small tiny motor, non-centric motor, and the voltage is controlled by variables here. Small range, and as I control, you see, and that will change the vibration. We will see that later. All right.